tennis courts are dug well below where Fulke is standing, looking down 10-15 feet. And plus the sand would pick up too. The clay would just be driven all over, as well as the balls. And here's the beach at, could be List, a harbor at List. It has beautiful sand dunes all over. This is where we had our first, or my first, FKK experience. No big deal. Once you get naked on the beach, it's just like everybody else. No one's looking at you. You're not looking at anybody. You become very relaxed very quickly. It's all mental, as most things are. You can do whatever you think you can do, or not. In either case, you're right. Here's protect their environment. Every day West Germany is finding out how bad it was in East Germany. Look at how thin Fulke is there with her bell-bottom trousers on. And then this is where I got my desire to become a windsurfer, watching these guys off Sylt, the island of Sylt. This guy was having a tough time in the wind. He was just a beginner, trying to get his board going. Didn't realize how difficult it was. And you saw when he went in the water, he was standing there, so it's very shallow in these bays, well-protected bays, so you weren't blown out into the ocean. This is the side facing the German coastline. And these are the Rieddache, the reed thatched roofed houses all over the island, beautifully done. And there's a guy in a bright red windsurf suit. Good idea to have this bright red color as protection, or so that the speedboats can see you when you're in the water. The blue ones that they normally have, the one I have in Atlanta, probably doesn't really show you off. And those are the high back chairs to protect you from the wind. The wind is constantly blowing here, and they rent these chairs. You can still get some sun and sit there and read a newspaper and relax. And usually they dig a hole and put the chair in the hole, and then the kids play in the sand in front of the chair. We might see that later on. Sort of like a dugout area for the sand break. There's the yellow windbreaker coats we got in Copenhagen. Got a bunch of cooking stuff when we went to Copenhagen. This must have been 75, 76 time frame now. The lighthouse. I think we're near the red cliffs of Weningstadt. High dunes overlooking the seas. There's some walkways going right through the dunes. Beautiful sand dunes. Oh, you had pants too to go with your wetsuit, huh, Fulke? And there's the chairs. We're way up on top of a dune. This is probably 30, 40 feet above, and you could see those circles where they dig the chairs into the sand, like a dugout area, and they try to protect even the chair from the wind driving all that sand into you. Very invigorating. And this is Weningstadt. This is the east-west canal that goes all the way to Hamburg. And this is the train crossing that east-west canal to the North Sea. And there's the Volvo. Oh, we made a trip to Nancy. There's Thomas running around this monument with Stephanie and CaVa. Took a couple rooms in a pension in Nancy. Met there halfway for Fulke to drive from Germany to Nancy. We tried to pick a spot, a city about halfway, and this must have been about halfway. I think I was going to take a train at first, but then Adri said go ahead and take the car. So I took the car, met Fulke and the kids. Just for a day, I think, maybe a weekend. Thomas enjoyed CaVa a lot. We should have had a dog. We had cats. We never had a dog. Since Spunky days in CaVa. I think I'll get a dog when I retire. Steffi's clattering her teeth. It must have been chilly. Big smile. Happy girl. Your red coat. Hello, doggy. Tommy's so protective of the dog. Somehow sniffing around. What's happening here? And there's a map of Nancy to show you where we are. Square in the center of Nancy. He was a French officer, or actually a Polish officer that came to aid French, maybe became one of Napoleon's generals during those Napoleonic era. Dark day in Nancy. Camera's not picking up the brightness of the film. It's a little bit brighter than this, but that's better. Hotel de Ville, the city hall of Nancy. And anyway, he was No, is this Luneville? This might be the castle of Luneville. French structures are so interesting. All the squares are laid out on the city map. Here's an Arc de Triomphe type entrance into the square. This was also very common. You drive through that, or it might be blocking it off to one of the schlosses now, castles. Beautiful wrought iron architecture. Sound and light spectacle in that facility. I think you went through there into the zoo area in Nancy. One of the nights, there's Fulke in her new green coat. Let's see if I can sharpen this up a little bit. Oh, this is Baccarat. So we did go to Baccarat. Lights flashing in the Crystal City of France. Fulke bought a salt and pepper shaker for her ex-mother-in-law at that time. World famous Crystal City of Baccarat. Fulke just told me that Carrie Smithwick bought some crystal there on a trip back from Paris, or to Paris. Okay, we're coming to the end of this reel. Let's make sure the camera's working. Approaching 53:20 on the tape. And looking good. I'm going to go down and make some... Oh, this is what... You can barely see it. I'm going to back it up here. In the center of that rose window is a smiling sun. Almost a pagan symbol to in a Catholic church. Sort of a... go back again. See if you can... Okay, this is coming to the end of the weekend in Nancy. Fulke going back to Germany, and I take the Volvo back to Paris. This is approaching the divorce time. I think Adrian and I were just about to separate about now. And Stanislas Square, still there. Pension had excellent breakfast. I think we even ate dinner at that pension hotel. They had a restaurant, very reasonably priced. And some of the statuary in Stanislas Square again. Probably something to edit out here when I'm doing. Like, this is a way to do it. You could put, there's IBM France, the IBM branch office in Nancy. Of course, it was a weekend and they were closed, but had to capture my old company. Happy kids. Steffi must have been about 8 or 9 there, I guess, huh? let's see, if this was 76, let's say 75, born in 66.